Hello YouTube, this is Ghostsuru, and welcome back to another episode of Draw With Me. I've got, as usual, TasteyTac.
Best guest ever.
I have my husband, These Nerds Play.
You are not the best ever, actually. It is me and Alex who are the best ever.
And we have our other friend, our other guest today, KittyDaddy.
Hi.
So this week we were supposed to do whatever we fancied to do. Kira, tell us real fast what you planned on doing, or what you had in mind for this week.
I just kind of went with whatever I kind of felt like drawing.
John?
I completely spaced it. I had no plan, and I did my video in about 10 minutes flat.
Despite what you may think, it's actually really good for being an 8-minute video. 8-minute drawing.
8 minutes and 25 seconds.
Hey, at least
Oh,
you
boy.
probably didn't have to speed it up.
I didn't. So, Alex, what did you plan on drawing?
So I wanted to do, as I discussed last week, horoscope themed kind of thing. So I did a Scorpio dragon.
For my drawing this week, I said in last video that I was going to do a reference draw from Genshin Impact with Xiao. I did end up making my own original character, and I also changed the pose because it ended up being that the pose that Xiao was doing was way too dynamic. I just went into something that was a little more comfortable, so it's not what it was originally. We are going to start with Alex's drawing first. He was the first one to submit. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
So I've never drawn. Well, I've tried to draw a dragon before many, many times. And I've always had a hard time. So I kind of used a reference image to get like the base outline of the dragon. It was just a generic dragon.
Fair. You got it somewhere.
It's a good shape.
Well, I guess technically it's more of a wyvern because it doesn't have front legs.
It does. You gave
Well,
it little
it does.
arms.
Oh, never mind. It is a dragon. I knew that.
Ta-da!
This, what was it? Meet the Robinsons? Really big.
Big-headed little arms. Yes.
Mhm.
So yeah, I thought it was a cool idea doing like the scorpion tail. So
Mhm.
that was kind of the reason I picked Scorpio, I guess.
Fair. With a
Um,
lot of astrological. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. For a lot of the astrological signs, it's something where the ones like Taurus, Scorpio, Cancer are a little bit easier, just because they feature something a little more simple.
Yeah, I certainly wasn't going to go Sagittarius or Virgo.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was definitely not.
Fairy tale came to mind, sorry.
Yeah.
If I thought about like, could I do a dragon with a bow and maybe horse legs? And I'm like, no, I
No.
can't.
Fair. Aw, like the position of the leg at first.
It
Okay,
drove me
fair.
crazy for a long time. It
Trying to figure
ended
out
up
how to
okay.
hold them.
Yeah.
Fair.
I really like drawing dragons. It used to be for a long time that's all I could draw was dragons, and then Kira taught me how to draw people.
Aggressive.
Yes, well, I was
velocity.
still learning how to draw people. I'm
Well,
the
you
best
were-
teacher.
You were still much further along than I was. I didn't even like have any clue how to draw people, and then you're like, "It's really simple. Watch," and I was like, "Oh my
Draw an
god!"
acorn.
Yeah, but hands still suck.
Hands
Hands still suck.
can be bad still. I'm kind of to the point now where I have an idea of like shapes and stuff, like how hands should look shape-wise. So
I can
Oh,
do
cool, you're doing
basic
the
hands okay.
segmentation on the tail too. Nice.
yeah, segment's nice.
Yeah, so yeah. Definitely need that for it to have that scorpion look. And I was like, okay, well, where
Yep.
do I want dragon to end and scorpion to start? And I'm like, probably just at the tail.
Fair,
I thought about
fair.
giving him like pincers or claws, and I'm like, that's probably not gonna happen.
Too much.
That would have
Yeah.
been cool, though, man.
Claws
I mean-
instead of his little tiny arms?
Yeah.
Maybe so.
It would've been nice if they had put on the dragon.
Or it gave him, like, pincer mouth or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the little mandible
Yeah.
mouth. Well, since we already called him a Charizard, could have been made him look like a Haxorus with that.
Because, yeah, he straight up does look like Charizard is your reference image. A little bit.
I
Um,
would
A
disagree.
little bit.
What
Not
do you mean
really.
as my reference image? The one on the left?
Reference image?
We
No.
can't see the reference image.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Nope.
But
Yeah,
the
he's-
base that I started with, yeah, it looks a little like Charizard, I guess. Probably more so how I drew it than the actual image itself. But here we are.
I mean, hey, whatever gets you there. It's something where I know I've done that before with trying to draw various anime characters, and then it's like, why do you look a lot more like this anime character than the one I was initially drawing? Well,
I tried to draw Luffy, but he came out as Natsu.
I'm not sure what happened.
But yeah, the reason why I chose this one is because I kind of like the way the head is done, because it's not like your standard European dragon. It's more of a conical shaped head.
Mhm. It's a
which
little
I thought
bit
was
more,
kinda cool.
yeah, it's a little bit more, I want to say classy, but that's not quite the right word I'm looking for. Elegant, there we go.
And then I wanted to pick a color for the dragon that was like kind of like a scorpion color, but not
But not too super weird.
right. And this is a lot of me coloring, and then I realized that I don't know how to erase on the outside of the lines without doing it manually.
Aw,
Yeah, as far as I know,
yeah,
it's pretty much manual for everything.
smudge brush.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a hard time trying to make it just like smoothly transition from one color to the other too, because I didn't want it to be like, okay, here's a line.
A harsh
Mhm.
line. Yeah.
With Krita, there is the blend tool, though. But I do like the smudge texture. I think it actually works way better than the blend tool would have done in this case.
Mm.
Well, and I ended up going over with the I don't remember what it's called, the illumination tool.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up going over with that too later, and it kind of helped bring the colors together.
You know, there,
Wow.
there is
It's
an
called a conversation killer there.
Yeah. There is an animation studio called Illumination Studios, and they were pretty good.
That's why I... Okay, don't worry.
Really?
Oh, sorry. I meant, like, there's another one with eggs in Minecraft. Maybe I got them mixed up with an actual, like, big Pixar one.
Eggs in Minecraft.
I'll show you guys the link later.
Okay.
Fair.
But it's really cute. Oh, there's the Brighten tool. Like it a lot.
Yeah. So, scorpions, they kind of have like the translucent skin or exoskeleton. So I wanted it to kind of have a bit of a glow. Like some scorpions are bioluminescent even. So yeah, I definitely wanted it to glow. And that was the best
At
way I
least
know
a
how to
little.
do that.
Fair enough.
The Brighten tool is always the best tool.
I agree. It's my favorite. I'm going to use it in everything.
I don't have it on my software.
Oh, you could wait. Krita's free. Just download it, dude.
I like him. He's got character.
He does.
It really does look like he's got scales.
Well, yeah, there's
From the texture brush.
yeah, I used the scale brush. But yeah, it turned out okay, especially with the color transition. I wasn't gonna do it like over the whole thing, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, it definitely looks way better close up. From far, far away, it's like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
yeah,
I don't know why, but I bet you it's just because of size differences or something. Or
Yeah, for how it has the push and pull on everything. But I mean, that's part of the devil's in the details effect, unfortunately.
That's
no,
the
like,
end, guys.
I think that's it. Yeah.
He didn't have his signature stars this time.
No,
No, no
but
stars. It's a dragon. It's not a space dragon.
Hey, John, it's a zodiac, which is a constellation in the sky. Okay, so it's
Oh.
technically stars. You just gotta
Actually,
think
that
outside
would
the
have made sense to put the stars in now.
Yep, too late.
It's kind of an Alex staple at this point.
All right, Kira, anything you want to say before we start?
With my video, there's two different things that I just want to make a quick mention. I did start drawing a little bit, so it's just going to pop straight in if I'm not mistaken. I also ended up in my finished piece. I did actually add a background onto it, but you won't actually see me working on the background at all.
All right. I already like the wings.
Don't get used to them.
Oh! Don't tell me that.
Unfortunately, as far as my drawings will go, a lot of them have the same bad habit of I will make a shape, rough it out, and then I'll change it, and I'll change it, and I'll change it. So, I do keep her wings. She does stay this little cute bumblebee fairy thing, but the shape changes a little bit more, especially because later I try to decide on whether I want to give her like a bumblebee like thorax tush or not, and I end up having to move her wings. And you can see I was trying to play with different ideas for hair or hat, because I wanted it to reference that it's a little bit colder, but I wanted to give her a fun hairstyle.
So cute.
But I ended up just leaving her with her hair and ended up scrapping the hat after a little while. Oh, there's the thorax. The bumblebee tush.
So you're telling me she's not going to have a bee in her bonnet?
No bee in her bonnet. She won't have to jump herself in the river.
It's so cute already.
And it's still in the rough form. I went back and went, oh, right, she needs clothes.
See,
Make a quick design.
that's the really funny thing. When I first started drawing, all my characters wore really baggy clothes, and I didn't really understand, like, muscle structure and stuff like that, so it was easy to draw people in baggy clothes. And then now I know how, like, muscle structure works, so it's hard for me to put people in baggy clothes because I'm like, but I need to make sure that he's, like, standing perfectly. So...
That's why
For
you
me-
draw them naked and then put clothes on.
That's what I'm saying,
Exactly.
though. You have to draw them naked at first. You'll see it in my drawing.
Oh my. There's the final form for her wings. Like I said, don't get attached to them.
Aw, but they're attached to her. Why can't I be attached?
Nope.
Aw.
See, heck, even the scarf will end up changing a little bit, if I remember correctly. I really liked it at this point, but I had to change it just for how it was sitting against her arm. Because I was like, oh, I need to kind of adjust this a little bit for shaping. I tried to give her long, pretty eyelashes, and then I said,
You know-
screw it.
I'm really surprised that you made the scarf blue in the end instead of black, because the little bumblebees have the little, like, fuzzy thing around their neck. You know what I mean?
Yep. It was one of those kind of, like, last-minute thoughts. I wanted it to look less like her regular outfit, though, since bees are usually much more highly associated with, like, summer or spring. And this one I wanted to definitely put as more of a slightly more autumn fall, or like beginning of fall feeling, so that it felt a little more cool. So she grabbed something less common for her.
Nice.
But that'll be for coloring when we get to that point. But I think here I have the line art just about done. I'm just doing some touch-ups for shapes for things that looked a little wonky or I wasn't fond of. Cleaning up anything that's got any crossovers. Going through my, I think at this point I had 24 different layers.
Oh,
Trying to figure out what all the different things.
Mine ended up having a lot of layers too. So I know the
Yep.
struggle.
Yep, so I was trying to go through and find all the bits and pieces to kind of clean up the edges and make different areas feel a little softer or things like that.
Sounds like you guys were drawing onions.
Yes, lots of layers.
Uh-huh.
Or ogres.
I debated putting bows on her since I couldn't figure out a nice looking hat idea for her. And then I was like, nope, that's just too much. It's too complicated. And I scrapped it.
Oh, but
Though
it was
I
so
still-
cute.
Yeah, I kind of still wish I had kept them. Just a little bit. Or maybe had switched from like buns to doing like one of those the braids that like loop around your head in like the
The French
Renaissanceian
braid?
braids. Yeah, or that one, I think. Nothing super interesting about coloring. I decided to make her toes a different color at one point.
What about the knees? The knees are important.
The knees, I ended up going, oh, her knees are offset. I don't have enough space to do matching stripes for matching stockings.
Well, I think they're the bee's knees.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Ha ha.
We tried. I had debated for a little while on whether I wanted to put like little billowing steam above her cup to help kind of signify that it is getting chilly outside. But I kind of forgot / kind of didn't want to.
She's got freckles. And they're gone. And they're back.
And they're back. Yep. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try the freckles and see if I like them. And then I was like, you know what? I do like them. Let's keep them. And then I thought it was kind of a nice little contrast being that she's a stripy bumblebee girl with freckles.
Look at the little pink in the ear. That's so nice.
Yep. I tried to give her a little bit of that rosy effect. Because, you know, when it's cold out, your nose and your ears and everything else turns red. Think at this point I should be cleaning up some of the lines for where I'm coloring. Nope. Still trying to get some of the soft shading going.
Soft shading. Oh, we did the exact opposite this time, Kira.
Yep. It was one of those ones where I got super impressed by everybody else's last time, and I was like, okay, if it's gonna be this way, fine, so be it. Whoa. Oh, and then I had some fun with the wings. I decided I wanted to make the edges a little more opaque. I also wanted to try and do like some fancy like line stuff with them to see like the veining in them. But I was like, nope, not gonna do that. But I did still go back to make them a little bit more opaque so that you can kind of see like the edges of her dress and her skin and her tail through the wing. And now you can start seeing me fiddling with the layering opacity. Yep, to see the little bit of peek through.
Nice.
And you can kind of see the basics of my background here, where I'm thinking about how do I want to do it, how do I want to do it.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she didn't record her background.
I know.
Yep.
That sky looks fantastic. I like how it's got different, like,
Stars.
no.
Hues.
Hues, yes.
Yep, where you have the brightness from the moon.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Very
I was-
nice.
I was even trying to be a little tricky because if you look at that inside part of the moon where it's starting to get covered up, there's no glow extending from it because you have the shadow coming across it. I was trying to be a little fancy.
Ah. I thought you were going to say you hid cheese in there.
No, I wish.
What's up with you and cheese? You have pizza. Stop.
The moon is made of cheese, Shay.
The moon is made of cheese, and there's bunnies that live on it that make mochi.
Mochi. I do remember that, actually.
Yes.
It's very pretty. I love it.
It's
Yep, I was
fantastic.
actually really happy with it.
All right, John. What would you like to say about your drawing before we start?
I had an hour to do it, but I did it in 10 minutes. I dropped the ball. I had to rush it. This is what you get.
Describe your thought process.
What's something simple I could do quickly for a video? I did use a second layer this time, which I was proud of myself for
Congrats.
doing.
You're learning to be an onion.
To be an onion.
Join the onion squad. Join us. Join us.
Wait, is your first layer background and your second layer is the drawing?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a start.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry I don't have some shine tool like you do, Alex, that you get to play with all the time.
The thing
You
Alex
probably
is
do
trying...
actually have a shine tool.
You probably do. I just don't know what it is. What Alex is trying to tell you is that Krita automatically gives you a background, so you have 2 layers automatically.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yep, yep.
dumb.
It's not dumb.
And for Corel Painter, it does the same thing. It starts you off with a background, and then you can add layers on top of it. So it's something where I get it. It's somewhere it counts. It's a layer. But look,
Cute
what
little...
I thought was going to be a Kirby
Is
is
it
now
an udder?
slowly getting more legs.
Is it an udder?
Nope, too many.
Give it. Are you sure, Alex? It could be a mutant cow.
Might be a mutant cow.
Diablo 2 secret cow level. Moo!
It looks
Why?
like an Omanite.
What's
Or is it-
Yeah.
Or is that Oma Star?
What's an Oma Star?
It's a Pokemon.
It'd be
What's a
Omanite.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
John.
Why do I draw so slow? This is a question I
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, this is the
just-
difference of having a fast-forwarded 4-hour-long video versus a regular pace 8-minute video.
Yeah. When you watch people draw things in fast speed and then you go back to normal, it definitely changes your perspective.
yeah, because your guys is
Oh,
fast
it does?
forwarded for sure.
Yeah, no, I took like 4 hours on mine. No, 3 hours. 3 hours.
I took so long on mine, and I could still keep going. Technically, my piece could be like a career piece, or whatever you want to call it, for your portfolio.
Portfolio piece.
Yeah.
For sure. The portfolio.
Yeah. But I should really just stop.
This
Is it an octopus?
It's a diseased udder.
hey, be nice,
An
guys.
mutant udder. Yeah, no
Well, I don't know
negativity.
what it is yet.
It's spaghetti, obviously. Look at the SpaghettiOs.
Yes. It's a bowl of cereal.
Alex's
Those are
dad's
Cheerios.
spaghetti.
It's ragu.
It's ragu.
Ah, yes.
Her
No.
knees are weak. Her arms are sweaty.
Did she have a strong?
Oh, aw.
What did you do?
It's
I
back.
hit Control X instead of the Control Z, and I was like, okay.
I know
Aw.
that feeling.
Look at it.
Aww.
Oh,
His soulless eyes. I will use my suckers on you.
you sucker. You know, for a moment, my brain both read his mouth as a blobfish nose and a mouth. And now I can't unsee it as a blobfish
Oh,
nose.
Yeah, now I
Just
can't
realized.
unsee it as a nose.
You wanna know what I just realized? All you gotta do is put a line connecting from the tops of his mouth, and he's all.
He's super excited.
It's so cute.
So have you ever drawn an octopus before?
No.
It's very nice.
It's a great first
A
attempt.
mutant udder creature I have never drawn before, Alex.
Well, it didn't have a face, okay?
Uh-oh.
Only thing that like makes me, I don't know what you want to call it, like have an itch or whatever, is I want to fix his head a little bit because he looks a little deflated.
He's supposed to be deflated.
He's a little lumpy.
He is
Also,
lumpy.
John, you might have had an easier time if you had like zoomed in
Yeah.
Yeah,
for the little
suckers.
Mutant.
suction cups.
Mutant cow udders.
I said diseased, okay?
Though, I have to admit, I have one little peevish moment with this. He's got 6 legs, so he's
Yeah.
not an octopus. He's
He's
squid.
got 2 behind him, Kira.
Yeah, you can't see it, Kira.
But I would say if that makes him a squid, that means his head is perfectly under deflated because they have the pointy triangle heads.
That is true. Maybe he's an accidental love child.
No, here's the thing,
Ooh.
right? So octopi, some of them can camouflage to their surroundings, so
Octopi.
he's in the process of camouflaging to the background.
Ah.
Mhm.
That
Did you
makes
say
sense.
pie when I said octopi?
Yeah.
It's great though, John. Very cute.
Jeez.
It is.
8 minutes and 25 seconds.
Now next week I need you to make something else super cute like that, okay?
Yeah,
'Cause
just don't
why?
overthink it.
I
Go simple.
love it.
I think we
It's
should
hard
do a
to beat.
challenge though. Like you have 10 minutes to draw, and that's it.
Well, we can do challenges
Oh,
like that
God.
later.
Oh god.
Or make that one of our prompts. You know what I mean?
No!
Kira, I understand the pain, but it would be more fair, wouldn't it?
True. And then we'll have the 10-hour challenge. Mwahaha.
The 10-hour
And
challenge.
John still takes 10 minutes.
Hey guys, I forgot about the challenge. Okay. So I try a couple
So you were-
times to get the pose down, and I thought I had it all right, so I started drawing the face. And just basically the top part. And then later on, I get to a point where I realize that, oops, I'm accidentally not drawing the actual reference image because I really wanted to have this really dramatic pose of him looking over his shoulder, whereas Xiao in the image isn't looking over his shoulder. So it kind of changed everything. So my character doesn't have his center of gravity where it should, and I kept trying to fix it, but I couldn't because of the way that he had his shoulders and the way his face was. So I basically just had to
Wing it.
Yeah, I had to do a new image, which was fine, but
Wasn't what you were going for.
yeah. And this is just arrows and stuff saying, hey, there should be gravity here, so this foot needs to go down, but it wasn't actually, my brain couldn't really connect it because the way his shoulder was already. So I just got rid of that, and then I was like, all right, I'm just doing something new. And then,
Different.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that definitely works a lot better for posing.
Yeah. But I still didn't like it, so his left leg changes one more time, but I did start actually drawing the photo. Technically, we're less than 2 minutes into this, like, fast forward, but this is actually, like, 3 hours later.
3 hours later.
Right?
Well, I know the feeling. I mean, I took about 3-4 on mine, so.
Yeah.
8 minutes.
But usually I have an idea of what I'm drawing well into an hour, and this took me so long that it made me so unhappy. I was like, something I should also mention real fast is that this is an original character. His name is Raiden when you first meet him. I won't say anything else because there are some story-related stuff when it comes to the comic. He's supposed to be a Chinese player for the Uwu game in my comic.
Ooh. It's going to devolve into nothing but ooh now, and it's all your fault. Ooh.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to go for a super, super dramatic pose and everything where he's, like, fighting something, so he's kind of sweaty, or maybe he got hit by a hydro attack or something. I was like, nah, don't want it to even remotely get weird if I can't, like, communicate it super well in drawings. Originally, the original image had movement, so I had to make sure that I had movement in mine. So I gave him almost a stereotypical, like, Shaolin or something pose, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Shaolin.
Yeah. I'm sure that some of the stuff he's wearing, it doesn't really translate as Chinese, but oh well.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. And as far as clothing goes, I mean, a lot of things have changed. As far as, like, more traditional clothing has a lot more of a certain feel. A lot more modern clothing is very similar anymore.
So the little pinky sticking out, I usually leave the pinky sticking out whenever I draw people, but I was like, no, he's holding something that is supposed to have force, so I gotta make sure that the pinky comes in. He can't look like...
be fancy with it.
Yeah.
He's holding a teacup.
But yeah, he can't look super fancy. He's gotta look kinda a little powerful at least. Maybe not quite ferocious. And also a lot of the stuff like this bandage sticking out and how the dangly bit on his shirt or whatever is like flowing. You can't really tell. And then he's also got like tassels on the side that I haven't fully drawn in yet. I wanted to make
sure... You tried to add in a lot of motion with those.
Yeah, I wanted as much motion as possible just to translate and also stick with the theme that I was originally going for, which is, you know, a dynamic movement pose. But I also, as you'll notice with this foot...
I love this bottom foot.
So I ended up liking this, and I was like, wow, I really want to make this black and white. And I usually am just a black and white artist, usually. I don't do color. Not usually. So I really contemplated for a really long time just sticking to the black and white because that's what I love to do. And also this comic is black and white. So it wouldn't hurt anything to make it black and white, but I was like, no, I gotta stick to the challenge and make sure that it is colored at least. And also it helps, new people, if they see the comic, how to recognize people basically.
But I have to admit, I do love the way that bottom foot looks. It's very nice.
Spot on.
I'm head over heels for that foot.
Okay.
Both of the feet, really. I couldn't do it.
This one is positioned really weird. I know that there's something wrong with it. I know Kira could probably tell me what was wrong with it, but...
You probably either needed to twist it a little bit so that you either see less of the sole or more of the sole based on how the leg is setting.
We get to coloring now. His original coloring was really vibrant green, vibrant red. I wanted to make sure that this was more complementary colors so that he didn't look like a crayon box like he does originally.
Or a Christmas elf.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with how he's colored in this because it's a lot more muted and it makes more sense. I really tried hard to do simple coloring like what Kira usually does, but you'll see later that I just get way more
shading.
Yeah. I am so sorry for how choppy it is, by the way.
It is a little choppy, but that's just the matter of the beast when it comes to
really
these types of videos. Yeah.
Fast forwarding 8 hours of footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of footage. And most of it, I should have just got rid of at least the beginning bit, I think, because it changed so much.
I mean, it just shows your general thought processing on that, so that's perfectly okay. I mean...
No one's really gonna understand what these tassels really represent, and I can't really super say, maybe?
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
She's not Super Saiyan.
Our power level isn't over 9,000 yet!
So the thing about the coloring, I also did a different type of lighting than I usually do because I was trying to go for a more dynamic pose. I wanted to make the lighting a little more dynamic, so the light should be coming from like front left. So I had to recolor everything and it was annoying.
Yep, I know that feeling.
And then I was like, oh, the lighting's not right. I gotta fix it.
Gotta do it again.
Yep. And then I really like how the hair turned out afterwards. Even though originally I just wanted to make it super simple.
I mean, even with simple things, they can get really complicated really quick.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice.
Very
I
nice.
like the detail on his staff.
Oh, yeah.
So that staff was actually done in like 20-ish minutes. It is not done with as much finesse as the rest of him. So I'm sorry that it's not technically completed. But yeah.
I mean, it still looks really good. Very cool.
Can I say that the only thing that I super like about this is his hair and his shoe? And maybe his one hand, his right hand, I think.
I know you guys find fault with it. I think it looks fine.
Yes.
So it sounds like next week we're going to do Halloween-themed drawings. So look forward to that, YouTube. Any last comments we want to make about our drawings before we sign off?
I'm really happy with the way everyone's art turned out. It was all good.
Yes. I really enjoyed everyone's this time. Even with John joining in at the very last minute, it turned out
Still
very
fun.
nice.
Yeah.
It did.
Anyway, adios, bye!
Adios,
Bye,
muchachos.
Internet.
Bye.
Before you watch these videos, I have not watched any of your guys' videos, so if there is something in the video, I will take it out later. Try not to comment on it.
There's a
Why
penis
is
in the
there
video.
a penis on your screen, Alex?
Oh man, we're going at how many times speed now? And it's been
boy.
there for like about a good 30 seconds. How long were you enjoying that photo?
Oh my god, Shira.
Alright, I'm gonna do the opening, okay? Okay?
Hold on,
This is
Shay.
Ghostsuru.
Hold on, Shay. Cindy's gonna walk in the room in the middle of your opening. I just know it.
And then you're gonna hear, Callie, get off of your sister! Welcome to YouTube, beautiful people.
Okay, Cindy, you stay outside now for an hour. Bye.
That's so mean!
Wow.
Ouch.
Please continue.